guys, it's me again, Ruowen Huang. Today I want to talk about Ouijaboard. Ouijaboard is actually in Taiwan we don't have Ouijaboard. We do, but we have various other things too. Just mind you, because we're coming from very religious family, religious background, religious culture and belief. Therefore, we have a lot of way of asking God or asking, higher spirits, or sometimes we use coin. We call coin God, or sometimes we use the plate, that little plate called plate God. Sometimes we asking, fox spirits or something. So it's almost like I don't know. I think it's carried forward from the old tradition or something which make us have a desire to ask our answer, especially kids, right? I believe that Ouijaboard too in a Western country, like. As kids, when you are curious about a world or unknown and you want to know the answer, right? And you most likely get very excited or interested about this. So this particular episode, I blended into my own psychic journey. So it's not something that I'm going to conclusion I share with you guys, but it's my personal experience with it. And then just for you guys reference, right? When I was a kid, I gone through like every other kids too, I also are quite interested about unknown, the world unknown, right? So I remember my very first experience of, Ouijaboard, not really Ouijaboard. It's basically that you call coin God. We use coin God. So basically on a piece of paper, you write yes and no. And then I guess you will have about 2 or 3 people, usually about 2, 3 people. Or 5 people, right? And we'll touch the coin all together, and then you will ask a question. And then somehow this coin will move to yes or no, answering your question, right? So when I was young, I was curious about that too, because I'm curious, why would money move itself, right? Like why would it move? How does it move? Who's moving it, right? So it was not until when I was a kid, I could see ghosts. That's visually see them, right? So I remember it was, countryside, and then there's a bunch of us all together, we're scared, but we kind of want to do this. And then we were saying, okay, who want to do this? Who want to do this, right? So when everybody is volunteer saying, okay, maybe I'll try. Then the very first experience I have with this is I actually saw all of a sudden there was a young boy, very young boy, was standing behind like a group of us, right? So all of a sudden I see a young boy there. At that time I didn't think much, because I coming from this countryside, we very often see neighbors would gather together, and then we would kind of we don't necessarily know everybody. We kind of seeing everybody, but doesn't mean we know everybody, right? So at that time, I thought this little boy was simply coming from some other nearby neighbor or something like that, or some far away, I don't know. But I didn't think much, because I don't have a capacity to think much. So at that time, all of a sudden I just noticed this boy standing there. He's not laughing, he's not smiling, nor is he playing with us, but he just appeared from nowhere. And why, meanwhile, everybody's, gathering, really want to play this, and then say, oh yeah, I've spaced out, that they didn't conclude in, right? I just could realize, I didn't feel sad I didn't get to play, but what I did realize is I start to pay attention, or all my attention got drawn by this little boy, and don't know why is he there, right? Why is he not playing? Why is he not participating, or something like that? And then why everybody start asking questions, and then I see how the little boy seems to somehow, someway manipulating the answer. So that's my very first experience to this kind of Ouijaboard type of things, right? So then I realized I'm not interested in playing the God. It's called money God anymore, because I don't see money God, but I see a little boy, and I doubt it is a money God, since he's kind of bluish hue. And then as I get older, which is my high school now I'm high school, people want to play some kind of Ouijaboard in Chinese version. I don't even remember what it looked like, but it's kind of Ouijaboard in Chinese version. Or it's a play god. I wasn't quite sure. But this is kind of like the after school. Like in Taiwan, our after school is kind of late. It's about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. And everybody want to get together. Several girls want to get together. And they want to say, oh, we want to answer this play god question. And do you want to join us? This is a moment because due to my first experience, now I'm asking them, so what does play god look like? And everybody will say, well, I don't know. Whoever seen play god? I said, well, I don't know. But I can guarantee you whoever is in front of me, because at that moment I see a woman, right? A more mature woman. And well, by then I can judge what's ghost. And then I can definitely tell you that's nowhere near God, right? So I keep looking at them, and then as this girl standing right next to us, I know whatever question they ask, this girl is gonna answer it, right? So at that moment, they're like, oh, do you want to join? I'm like, no, I'm gonna go home. I'm really gonna go home because I already know my answer is not coming from where I want, the source that I wanted. And then it ain't gonna be something that I'm interested, because if I stick around, most likely they end up following me home anyway. So I don't like to do that. So what ended up happening is after that, somehow some accident happened to one of the friends who do play that. That's kind of start playing that kind of jinx or, curse, like don't ever play that because it collect bad spirit or something, which they do, right? So then later on, believe it or not, through my life, I got so many people asking me to play. As I get older, people asking me to play Ouijaboard. And this is the very first time I was introducing Ouijaboard. And then people were saying, oh, this is really fun. That you actually can get an answer from it due to all the letter on the board, right? You can actually get a full answer instead of before. You simply got yes or no. But now you can actually get a full answer to it. But as I say, every time before the game starts, and then I always see the spirit before I even hear the answer, right? And judge from the spirit, I can tell you I'm not interested. At all. And at that time, nobody know I'm psychic. As I say, I have this very difficulty sharing with anybody that I'm psychic, nor can I tell people that that they are ghosts there or something. So I've been remaining silent. But from my various experience of those Ouijaboard or the coin god or whatever you call that, I can honestly share with you, I haven't seen a god, really. I haven't seen a good spirit so far. Every time you want to accumulate, or curious get together and asking a question. Does that mean your question can never be answered? No. But what I do realize is this kind of game usually requires 3 to 5 people. Why? Because you need to create a strong form or protection or something. You need minimum 3 to 5 to create that kind of form. All right, so you are not being influenced by your mind, or your thought or your sense will not be influenced by other spirits. Or that means we can protect one another. It's good if you have someone who got strong energy to be with you, because then that loop I do later on realize, if let's say I give you an example of group of 5. If I give you a group of 5 people, and let's say 2 of the 5 people got very strong energy, that means they know who they are, and then they are certain who they are, and etc. For example, then they're able to create or balance a very firm circle within them when they're asking questions, right? They will less likely being influenced. But if in a group of 5, you have one weak person, that person's always self-question themselves, no matter how tough they act themselves. They always self-doubt, insecure, and things like that. It then become a link. That weakest link then become, crack. A crack of the hole, then therefore would allow those spirits or energy to leak into the group. Does that make sense? I really hope I make sense, but I'm simply trying to describe what I see, so I really hope it makes sense. So what I really try to say is, in a group of five, if you want to play any of those games, of course, I understand many of you will still be curious. Many of you would be, simply curious or something like that. But if you have a group of five, the best way to play is really a group of five. If really you cannot find five, at least find three. What you want to do is you want to create a golden triangle that will create a secure environment for you to play this game, right? So yes, you might hear things that totally doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter, but at least your energy will be protected, right? So in a group of five, you want to find minimum 3 people that got very strong energy. That means they are very, they know at least they know their energy. Therefore, you can still create a golden triangle that give you protective energy where you are experiencing the spirits. And I'm gonna tell you what you believe you might call the good God or good spirit to answer your question. I would say from my experience so far, 80% of them are not. They simply are the ghosts that still wandering around in our dimension, not sure where they're going. If you are lucky, you simply meet them. If you're not lucky, you deal with a spirit who got a lot of anger, a lot of negativity with them. So those are the spirits who will influence you, who will impact you in your life. So anyway, this is just my personal psychic journey I thought I'd share with you guys. It's Ouijaboard. Let us connect with spirits. Can we use Ouijaboard to connect with higher spirit? With higher spirits, I want to say no, but obviously not. That's not true. Okay, in order to connect with the higher spirit, you really have to know how to protect yourself. You really have to be able to create a diameter. That means you isolating yourself in this very well protective environment, then you may be able to connect with your higher self. Yes, but not when you are in the status of worry, frustration, angry, or the emotion that was in your head. When you have emotion blur in your mind, guys, trust me, before you ask yourself, calm yourself. If you cannot calm yourself, then you know you have emotion in the way. If you have emotion in the way, my recommendation to you is don't play any of those games, really, because most likely you are not able to connect with your higher self. You'll be able to connect with those spirits that most likely will influence your mind. So anyway, just my personal experience to share with you guys. Tarot is totally different thing, and I will talk about it later. Not this later, but sometime in the future. So that I will connect with you later. But in regard of those Ouijaboard, the difference between Ouijaboard of several people play together, and then you cannot. It's type of game you usually require several people to play. I'm here to recommend with you guys. It's important to know who you're playing this game with, because you want to be protected and make sure you are protected. So if you cannot make sure people are protected, at least make sure you burn some incense or something to make sure your environment is protected. So play it wisely, because most likely you are not calling the nice person. You depend on your energy level. You might be calling some bad spirits that you really don't want to encounter. Then with the people of them securing, really, what is this episode about is really don't even bother. My whole point is don't even, if you can avoid it, avoid it. If you're not sure, you don't know, then don't play, because those time you want to get the answer. You are simply curious about unknown. I feel like I'm here to share the word unknown to you anyway, in a safe way. But if you cannot control who you're dealing with, right? Don't even bother. If you don't even know how to handle them, very likely their energy may even influence yours without you knowing. So I would say in this case, don't even bother. Just my personal opinion. At least I learned from various occasions, people invite me to play this game. And from what I see, I would say if you can avoid situation like that, do so. So anyway, just a little personal experience to share with you all. Again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.